I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Today, we're going to talk to Democrats because honestly, being a big tent party where everyone's opinion is valid is great and a serious pain in the ass. Do you know how the Republicans stay in power? I mean, even though they continue to fail America for the last 50 years, they shut their yaps when something goes wrong or is coming apart. They close their pie holes until they all get on the same page. They're the party of failure, economic disaster, and have crashed the economy repeatedly. Oh, and they are also the party of treason, and yet they still have a shot in 2024 because they know when to pipe down. Democrats, on the other hand, rush to shiv each other, slit each other's political throats, and have to give their opinions to the widest possible audience to be forthcoming and honest. Well, when in any relationship with anyone or anything has being forthcoming and honest worked out? Not once. That's how you get divorced. Now, since the debate, the Democrats have been campaigning hard against their own nominee.
Already, 17 House Democrats and 1 Senate Democrat have called for the president to step aside.
Yeah, it turns out that the best way to beat the Democrats in an election is to just shut up and let the Democrats eat their own. Good job, morons. Now I get it. Biden is old. He should have a constant IV drip of Ensure in his arm. He can quote John Adams because he served with him and insert every other joke about the elderly you can think of right here. But let's take a minute and look at the reality. One candidate is 78 and the other one is 81. They are both old AF and probably both have portable defibrillators on standby. Biden's is in his vet so Jill can jumpstart him or the car when needed. However, Trump doesn't drive and Melania is obviously in witness protection, so Trump is going to have to defibrillate his own cheese-filled heart if it locks up. And I will grant you, this is not the ideal situation for Democrats, but we got 4 months. You can't herd that many Democratic woke cats in that time. It's going to be hard to find a 35-year-old Harvard-educated, multi-race, trans, vegan, Wiccan environmentalist to run in Biden's place. And I get it, Biden is old, but Trump is old. Let's compare the old. One man is a great president who turned the economy, turned the pandemic, fixed the supply chain, filled empty stores, got infrastructure passed, CHIPS Act, $35 insulin, expanded healthcare, strengthened NATO, went after China, record stock market. He reacts to disasters. He made us the #1 oil producer in the world while increasing renewable energy and passing climate change. So maybe one day Texas won't have the breaker on their grid blow once a week. His wife and family love him. He's a good man. The other guy makes a Sith Lord look like Betty White. He failed daily as president, from calling our allies shithole countries, cutting deals with Saudi to cut oil production, driving up gas prices, made deals with the Taliban. He screwed the Kurds. He shit the bed on COVID.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light.
And cost us $425 million golfing at his own resorts for 300 days. His kids hate him, and his wife is technically a missing person. And his other wife is buried on his golf course. He caused and planned an insurrection. Trump tried to end America. Biden, by any metric, rebuild it. Grandpa Joe pulled us out of a nightmare, and if you elect him, you get his team that helped fix it. If you elect Trump, you get his team. You know, when they finish serving their sentences, I mean. I'll give you this. If Biden says he's done and can't handle the presidency, fine, then I'm in. But this man earned the right for us to forgive one bad debate to form.
Not a joke. Not a joke. And I'm not joking. No, all kidding aside. I'm not joking. Not a joke. Fact. Not a joke. Fact. Not a joke. Not a joke. I'm not joking.
Hell, the Republicans forgave a pussy-grabbing, bankrupt, illiterate, racist rapist who cheats on his wife with porn stars and can barely speak.
Venezuela, will repeat your...
Maybe we can give Joe some fucking respect. Get behind him, Devs. But you won't. Like always, Democrats will again pull defeat from the jaws of victory. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. I can't believe these guys, man. It's like even if they're after the rally speech, and then he actually spoke to the UN, and they're still like, I don't know, his debate was weird. Yeah, I'm fine with it. And maybe he's losing. He's 81. But I would take this dude any day over this fat boy disaster. Hey everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. Hi, how you doing? With me as always, the lovely bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
There could be only one. Rachel, microphone, please.
Oh yeah, Let's do it again. Hi everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. With me as always, the lovely bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
There you go. And the Highlander.
There could be only one.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, baby.
Come on, let's go.
All right. You know, I think I'm frustrated. You think I'm frustrated with Republicans? I am so frustrated with the Democrats in this last week that it must be, first of all, it's already hard to live with me, but it must be impossible this week. I don't think I've ever yelled at the television as much as I have since the debate. Now,
the television's still hanging and it's not smashed.
I'm not smashing. I'm not going to. I know, because you know why? Because I pay for the televisions. That's what my dad used to say. You ruin stuff because you didn't pay for it.
Not my dad.
Buying my own clothes at 11. Oh, really? You just break the TV?
Yeah, it smashed everything.
So here's what I don't understand. So he had a bad debate. We agreed the debate sucked, right? He was horrible.
Fucking horrible.
He was horrible.
I don't,
But I will say this: if you slow it down and listen to him, he's the one who had the facts.
Yeah, if you asked me what I actually think, and you waited for an answer, it would be different than what you think I would say. Maybe.
Go ahead. Get to your answer.
Go ahead.
I tried to. I would not. And look, I get it. Like, is it ideal? Absolutely not. Do I think he won that debate? Absolutely. And that's why I can't fathom where we are. Now, is that the ideal performance from any candidate from either of them? Fuck no. But did he tell the truth, try and get facts out while Donald Trump lied 38 times? PolitiFact fact-checked him. Can I just do this really quickly?
Sure.
This is what I don't understand what we're talking about. Why are we just talking about Biden? Yes, there were problems, but why aren't we talking with the same breath about the problems with Trump? Let me give you an example.
Because it takes too long, honestly.
Former President Trump. This actually, and I'm going to paraphrase, but it's going to be pretty damn close because my memory's pretty damn good. President Trump, you had promised to roll back all of President Biden's climate initiatives. What would you do to stop the rising climate crisis if you become president? He goes, actually, I would like to go back to what he said, that the police support him. They don't support him. They support Trump. They love Donald J. Trump. That's who they love. And then he goes on and on about speaking about himself in third person. And then not Jake Tapper, but Dana What's-Her-Face says, you have 38 seconds left, former President Trump, to answer the question about what you would do about the ongoing and rising climate threat. And he goes, I want beautiful, clean air. I want beautiful, clean water. That's what we had it when I was in. We had H2O. We had it.
He actually gave the chemical formula for water.
Because someone told him and now he thinks he sounds smart because he knows H2O is water. Look it up. That is his response about what he would do about the climate crisis. He wants beautiful, clean air, beautiful, clean water, but actually we had H2O. So
we'll put that in.
Please put that clip. So why in the fuck are we talking about Biden?
Because it's weird. I had one on Hal Sparks' podcast today, and we talked about it. And he said a couple of things. He said they did what do they call it when you're excited about something?
Excitement.
Yeah, that's excitement. No, positivity. When you get excited about somebody, people didn't give a shit about Biden before the debate. They were like 20. It was 28%. The excitement index. Okay. After the debate, it was 91%. People got fired up about it. So there is something happening that we don't know. What I don't understand, and I've never seen it this bad. It's not even today yesterday when he spoke at NATO. Fox said that was a strong performance. He nailed it. Uh-huh. Even Fox said that. Yeah. Katie Tour and the people on MSNBC, except for Mercedes Ruehl and a couple other people, were like, yeah, Biden's debate performance. He's had 2 rallies and a fucking NATO speech since then, and you haven't showed a clip from that.
Yeah, and plus we move on from Trump's bullshit the next day.
It's mind-boggling.
But we're still hanging on to that 1 hour.
One of the congresswomen said that she turned around because their press is following everybody around. What do you think? Is he fit? Is he, She turns around and she goes, President Biden had a bad debate. Donald Trump had a bad 4-year presidency. I think she said horrible, horrific, bad year. And then she walked off. And I was like, right, why aren't we talking about that? What is this Jedi mind trick
Well,
thing?
so I talked to Hal about this today, and he says because they've found something. Democrats don't scream at them when they go after Republicans. When they go after Trump, Republicans jump the news, jump MSNBC, and they jump all the anchors. They don't do it with Democrats. Democrats don't jump them. I did today. I'm like these fucking Katie Tur is a hack.
Yeah,
she's the worst hack. We were watching today, and everybody she talked to, she skewed it. No matter what the subject was.
Yeah.
You know what I said? Hey, by the way, so there's a heat dome over the thing. So there's a little girl in the Midwest. She's selling ice cream. She opened up a little ice cream stand. Let's talk to her. Susie, how are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm selling ice cream to the people. That's great. You sell ice cream. What do you think about Biden's debate performance? She's 6. Shut up. She did it to everybody.
Everybody.
She quoted George Clooney of all people wrote an op-ed for the New York for whatever paper it was for New York Times. George Clooney.
Of course, it was the time.
George Clooney has as much right to his opinion as I do, and this podcast does. You listen. I tell you what. That's like
what Cornell said. She goes, so what do you think about that? And he goes, I think he's a great actor.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I'm saying is President Biden is the nominee. That's who Democrats chose.
Right.
He has the delegates. He's not giving up those delegates. So if and when he does, he's the nominee. And if Democrats continue to talk about who else they would put in, we're only fighting and killing each other. And I was like, oh, okay. So she was like, we're going to commercial.
They said that he said that the liberal media has done more to destroy Biden's poll numbers than the Republicans ever could.
Of course, yeah.
You guys are fucking us so hard and you don't even get it. And I don't know what they think is going to happen. So here's what happens. And Rachel pointed this out. This is so smart. And I said, well, Kamala, they bring Kamala in. And Rachel said,
ain't no way they're going to nominate a woman. They already proved that. Think about how badly they don't want a woman that they elected Donald Trump, the orange boob porn star guy that everyone made fun of. And that was a white
Hillary.
woman.
Yeah.
Now add in the fact that
Mixed race?
she's
Yeah.
Indian and
Black.
a black woman. Please.
they wouldn't. Be
clear about how they
Clinton
feel
had
about
an
women.
86% approval rating when she was in the
Yeah.
Senate. Her husband had the best economic record of all time,
Secretary of State.
and she was Secretary of State, and she actually had her husband on her back on the side going, "Hey, what if we did this? So does work."
Yeah.
You had two brilliant minds.
I hate when you say that.
What?
Just because she was married to somebody
No,
doesn't
no.
mean he's going to help. Oh, do you want me to help you be president? Yes, I will.
I thought all husbands.
I couldn't bring up.
Don't all husbands and
Yeah,
wives help each
comedy.
other?
Oh, I help you with comedy. Hey.
I did though. Sometimes you have to be okay. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying she's.
But if
let me finish.
I don't want you to finish this.
86% approval rate, and she was a great
She
Secretary of
was
State.
so respected
great.
as Secretary of
I'm
State.
saying-
Even my family.
I'm
thought she
saying
did
they
a good
wouldn't
job.
elect her when they even had the bonus of a guy who had one of the best
Right.
economies of all time. I wasn't saying that she couldn't handle it. I was saying that she had
That's
another
like
advisor.
you telling Netflix
No.
they should give me a special because you're my husband and you'll
It's
help
like
me
saying
make
that.
it funny.
No, it's like saying Obama also had Michelle, who was brilliant. She was actually a partner
but you didn't
before
say
he got.
that about Obama.
But that's just. But you're the one who's misogynistic, not me.
No, you didn't.
No, you're thinking. No, you assume that I'm
you
making
didn't.
fun.
I've never heard you say that on this podcast. And let's roll back 12 years, 14 years of tape
If Michelle
and see if you've
she
ever
does shit
said
like
we
this
should
when she knows
hire.
we can't.
Hold on.
She just thinks.
Let's
she
see.
just knows
Time to go
outside.
to the archives.
I'm going
You
to
kidding?
put this to the people. Has he ever said we should hire a man because of who his wife is? We'll talk next week.
I've never said we should hire a woman because of. I'm saying the bonus is Hillary would have been a great president, and I still
Yes.
to this day I blame James Comey for fucking up this country for the last 5 years.
If Hillary Clinton was
the last-
had
when Trump
Betsy
got elected.
Ross as her best friend, we would say, and she was best friends with Betsy Ross, just
Have you?
like a person who.
Have you?
I would say this: if Hillary had been married to
Okay.
was married to Rachel Maddow, I would say, and you get the bonus of Rachel Maddow. That's what I would say.
Mhm.
But you didn't.
I know because you have this weird thing about It's so paranoid.
It's not paranoid.
It is paranoid. I am not part of the oligarchy, the patriarchy. I'm not part of it.
Well, we all are, and you can't help but be. You live in it.
Pipe down. Listen,
No.
what I want to say.
You were raised
Hillary-
by Ken Titus.
Hillary had 30 years of experience in
Experience.
public in office.
Yes.
Why are you hype man? Experience.
Yes.
Keep going. That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, Trump, we only knew him as a TV guy.
TV
right?
guy, man.
Right?
Right?
That's all we knew.
Right.
That's what we knew.
And we don't really know Kamala at all.
Well, that's
Okay.
I
yeah.
don't know.
what they
Who
said-
is Kamala? So
Do you know what they said on Fox News this week?
God.
You know, because they're trolling Kamala, and this little blonde bimbo chick said she let's not even talk about how deeply unqualified she is to become president of the United States.
She's the vice president.
She's the vice president. She was in the Senate before that. She was a prosecutor before that.
she was great for California.
So tell me how Donald Trump was qualified to be president.
She was a senator. She was a prosecutor. She was a badass. Wasn't she?
She was a badass.
Wasn't she in the local? Yeah,
She was in
one of the
San
biggest cities.
Francisco, and then she
one of the
became AG.
one of the biggest cities in the world. Then she was attorney general here in California. Then she was in the Senate. Then she was vice president.
She was prime
You know
minister
why
of
though?
France.
But you know
She
why?
was-
Though? You know why?
She's
Because of
a
her
woman.
husband. Her husband was really good. Helped her out a lot.
husband,
And she was a lawyer in general before that. Like,
Oh, and you remember her in the Senate? Whenever she would get someone in front of her at a hearing, you were like, "Oh shit!"
that was my favorite.
Whoever, when she would get someone, I think she'd be a great president. But here's what people keep forgetting. Listen, Biden's 81. Now, I watched him on the NATO speech and I watched him on the rally. Didn't like the debate, but I will say this. The man spewed. I think what they did is they spent 6 years pumping his head full of facts. And the problem was you get 81, and he did list them out, but he was concentrating really hard. I would say that. And he was quiet. He was quiet, like in a library. People, can you pick it up? People quiet.
Yeah.
He was quiet. But he didn't say anything he didn't say anything that wasn't true.
Oh yeah, substance-wise.
Yeah,
No, he nailed it.
yeah, but there was no performance there. I get it. In America, it's all about performance. Don't give a shit about substance.
He did say what you couldn't hear is that Trump, even though his mic was off, we couldn't hear it and he was off camera. Trump was yelling the whole time, constantly. And you could see him. I mean, certainly he's old.
He turned away.
Gets confused. And you could see him trying to get facts out, but and that's what was happening right here, which I told you before the debate was going to be their whole strategy.
Yeah,
Because Biden always, Nicole Wallace was on my way here, and she was saying that Joe Biden has always been famous for not being the best speaker. He's always been famous for his gaffes. And she goes, I don't mean the last few months. I mean the last 40 years.
Yeah.
We used to call him stick your foot in your mouth, Joe.
foot and mouth disease. She
That
said he had foot and mouth
foot and
disease.
mouth disease, whatever.
Foot
Like
and
it was
mouth
an
disease.
ongoing joke about Joe Biden that he would just say stuff and people would be like, what? So he's already that guy. Now he's old and somebody's screaming at him the whole time he's trying to talk.
Well, this goes back to debate prep. So they know that he's got foot and mouth disease, right? And they know that Trump is just a fucking carnival barker. So why didn't they plan for those two scenarios and
Joe
play to his strengths?
That's what I thought. I thought whoever set him down to go, we're going to fact the shit out of this guy. He's got no record to run on. So their plan was to actually, and I don't want, by the way, I am not going to give an excuse for the debate. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't complain about those guys bitching about the debate and me making an excuse for it. It wasn't a good performance. I think it was bad prep, and I think that's what they did. He's still old.
Yeah.
That being said, I watched him the next morning. The rally popped up, slated, dropped bombs on Trump. I was like, hell yeah. And I thought, okay, that's going to do it. Because here's what you do. That's what I was saying in the Armageddon update. Republicans will point to the smallest positive thing after the nightmare and go, yeah, but he's this
And
guy.
run
now.
that 24/7.
And run it 24/7. The Democrats will run the debate, even though he's got two rallies and a NATO speech that was great. And I haven't seen any of that. The Democrats are so fucking, we all have an opinion and we're going to be forthright. We're going to be honest and forthright. Yeah, that's how you lose right now. With this asshole, that's how you lose. Now, when I watched that video of Obama and Romney meeting for their debate, and they were like, hey, say hi to your wife. Hope she's good. Congratulations on your anniversary. I was like,
I bet she's not happy you're here tonight on your anniversary.
yeah,
and
that
they
was
both
the weird.
laugh.
I was like, what's happening? This is weird. That's how it used to
Good
be.
old days.
In that situation, we may have a different conversation about Biden. We're not in that situation. The situation we're in right now is we have a guy who's dropped the 2025 project that if you read it, holy shit, I'm going to be covering it next week. It is, first of all, a hard read. It's 1,000 pages. But Jesus Christ, when you see what they're doing, you realize you're turning us into Nazi Germany. What are you doing? This is a Nazi Germany plan. And they can't put it into play right now because a lot of the guys that are involved in it are in jail right now.
He's saying that he doesn't know anything about it, but there is a clip of him keynote speaker at a Heritage Foundation luncheon 2 years ago in 2022 saying, it's a beautiful foundation. They're actually putting together a plan. We'll have more on that very soon. It'll be our plan. It'll be the MAGA movement. It'll show you what we plan to do. And now he's saying, I don't know what that is. What are you talking about?
So we've got a guy as president right now who's elderly, granted, but he is capable, competent, and has a record to run on. If we switch right now, we got 4 months. And I was watching The Daily Show, and I don't agree with it. One of the few times in the world I totally disagree with The Daily Show. They go, we got 4 months. It's plenty of time. No. It's like, you're 22 years old, 25 years old. Shut up. It's not plenty of time. How many elections have you been through in your life? 4 months. And not only that, but if you switch it, the Republicans are going to pounce on that. They couldn't even get their nominee together. They couldn't even, they waited till the last minute to blah, blah, blah. You were fucked.
This is a fucking chess game. This should have been in play fucking 2 years ago of replacement, building up the other Democratic people that could take his place.
Even if Gavin was going to step in as vice president and Kamala,
that window passed.
It's what we were. Yes, exactly.
We're fucking there already.
The boats are burnt. Go this way. Go this way.
Everybody get in line. Strategy now, right? Like this, and Democrats, I was telling you today, are like, but we don't want him anymore. But you chose him. But we don't want him anymore. We always get what we want. We don't like it anymore. But
he mumbled a couple of times in that thing, and remember, and he was quiet when the other guy was yelling. I don't want that guy. And I just look at you guys. You guys,
it's over. It's happening. He has the delegates. You guys chose him.
He has the delegates, and he has the record. He took the worst pandemic in 100 years and flipped it. Guys, we have pictures of stores empty. They're full now. The economy's doing so well, prices went up. That's how the economy works.
Who was that guy?
Record
4
highs
years ago.
Stock market. Record highs.
They know he's doing that behind the scenes at 9 o'clock
at night. My brother, quote, I'm making, because I got him in the stock market, I'm making money hand over fist, is what he told me. My brother, the conservative, is making, but wants not Biden.
He wants to change that.
Yeah, they never connect those two, though. This episode brought to you by ButcherBox. Speaking of connecting things, I connected ButcherBox with
4th of July was 4th. Awesome.
So I fully planned my ButcherBox box this time based on what I wanted to do for July 4th. So I got this. This was stupid, y'all. This was I did filet mignons for steak kebabs.
You did those.
And awesome. I also got the premium steak tips that you can get too, and I mixed those together. And then I got chicken thighs and chicken breasts for chicken skewers. It's this recipe that my brother has.
Yakitori.
Chicken yakitori that we used to have from street cart vendors in Japan when we lived there. And you marinate it overnight. Stupid. Then I got sausages. What else? We had
the brats
so
for
much
the brats,
food.
Sausages. We had.
It was Italian sausages.
What else did we cook?
The chicken skewers, dark and light.
We had so many chicken skewers.
Then we had to add Beyond because Tony Horton was there. Beyond Burger to the mix. Well, just that he's the vegan of the group. It was stupid. All the food you kept saying, we have so much food. We're never going to eat all this food. And it was all gone. The next day. It was crazy. Best tasting food, those filet mignons. You guys got to try that. Marinated a little bit and then grilled them because you're going to get, so it's ButcherBox. It gets delivered to your door. It comes packed in dry ice. It's just can sit all day. If you're at work, it's still frozen. You get 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken. The pork is raised crate-free and wild-caught seafood. It's humanely raised, no added antibiotics. no antibiotics or added hormones, and you get free shipping. So I highly recommend trying it out, especially steak skewers with filet mignon. Sign up for ButcherBox today. Go to butcherbox.com/Titus. Use code Titus at checkout and enjoy your choice of bone-in chicken thighs. That's what I used. Top sirloins or salmon in every box for an entire year. Plus, you'll get $20 off. So again, butcherbox.com/Titus, promo code Titus, and you get to choose any of those things, plus get $20 off your box.
It's great stuff. We thank you, ButcherBox. We had such a great 4th of July.
We really
so
did.
Good. I want to talk about this. So because we don't have the fairness doctrine anymore, because we don't have something that actually watches what the media does, most of the media companies are owned by Republicans, including the CEO of
CNN.
Comcast.
Also MSNBC?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Well, there's the answer.
So, and then the CNN, I was talking to Hal Sparks today, the CNN thing happened overnight. Like the guy bought it from from whoever had Discovery, that whole organization that owns CNN. He bought it from them. And the next week, Don Lemon was gone. And they were like, you know what? This Trump guy's not totally crazy. Wait, what just happened?
Yep.
So we have a media right now. And I just don't understand the left-wing media going after Biden harder than they've ever gone after Trump. It's pretty crazy. With few exceptions. Katie Fang is keeping on her game. She's like, nope, let's keep talking about it. I would say Nicole Wallace is keeping on her game. Stephanie Rule is keeping on her game. But man, Jake, I see on TV that you pointed out was not Jake Tapper. It was Jake Tapper. Wasn't it Jake Tapper?
Probably.
What was it?
No, you said, oh God, he's still on. She's on with Katie Tur.
Oh no, Chuck Todd.
Chuck Todd. And it's like, what are you guys doing? What do we not know? Here, okay, let's do a conspiracy a minute. What do we not know that the Democrats think it's okay to destroy their own nominee like this? What don't we know? Like, what is there something? Is Biden just pooping in his hand and tossing it around the Oval Office and we just haven't seen it yet? Like even Nancy Pelosi's hemming and hawing. The only person who had the balls to come straight out and say it was AOC. AOC goes, no, he's running. That's it. We're done. Moving on. Yeah. It's over.
And Bernie Sanders came out behind him and was like,
oh, I didn't know what
he's
Sanders
the nominee. So I support him.
Yeah. But they're all going, we're riding with Biden. They're all starting to do this thing.
Stop saying that.
Stop saying it. So, go with Joe.
Let's not say anything that rhymes. Just say, I like him. He's the nominee.
There's also a bit of like salaciousness to it.
He's a nominee for me.
No.
No.
He's the rapper. He should do a rap about Joe Biden.
No, that will not work.
So,
beat Medicaid, give me the beat.
What do we not know? Is he just sitting in? Is he like they get him in front of the prompter? He can read still. I don't know what's going on because I've never seen. You have the best record to run on since FDR, and you're trying to get rid of the guy whose that record it is. It doesn't make any sense. After one night. One debate. Now,
it's.
I accept that Biden is slowed down. They said that I read his medical report yesterday, and it said that his hip, he's got some arthritis in his hip. He's got some arthritis. He's got a really bad foot, I guess. He's got arthritis in his ankle.
He got the club foot.
And he's got so his gait is different. Doctor acknowledges that. They said cognitively he's fine, and this is the last retest. And I don't. What could we not know? And if we and what should we know?
So now he does club foot in mouth. I'll put that in the other spot because I was waiting for this spot to put it.
Nice, I like it.
I don't understand because you're getting also. So whatever you think about him talking more slowly, you can look at what he does when he's in any office and what his goals are and how he feels about our country and his family and just who he is. And then you can look at Trump, who has promised to dismantle NATO day one. And if you
pull out of Ukraine,
can't even understand the destabilization for us and for our security on the world stage, then you are really not paying attention.
He's been friends with Putin since 87.
Read Project 2025, taking all rights for women away, taking away the checks and balances for the presidential powers that no federal agency, that including, his any Justice Department, CIA, FBI, that they will not be able to initiate any investigation against him.
Everything will be put under the executive branch.
Yeah,
Everything.
and
Yes.
that
There'll be no judicial branch.
He can use them to start investigations against political enemy. I mean, it's just, but women, watch out. Go read what he wants to do with women.
But here's what the Republicans are. They wrote it down. And put it out. You can access it. You can just go look at it.
My
that's
niece
part of-
is reading it.
But here's the problem. But this is what I was saying in the Armageddon update is like, so they all get together, they all get on the same fucking page and they move forward. And so what happens is because everyone's on the same page, at one point you start to go, oh, okay, I guess if everybody agrees on this, this must be the thing, right? Whereas the Democrats, like, I have an opinion, I have another opinion. My opinion's different. Yeah, but I have another opinion. You know what I think we should do? Fucking shut up. And look, in this situation, this is wartime. You've got to look at this as wartime. We are going up against a guy who tried to take over the country once, but he didn't know what he was doing. He fucking knows what he's doing now. And he's got a bunch more people behind him that are going to help do it how they want it done the next time. So it's wartime. Time to fucking get on the same fucking plan, have the same fucking meeting, and let's move forward.
Yeah, get organized.
And shut up.
They
talk about NATO. Talk about the
You're
rally.
getting his administration. You're getting things like the Inflation Reduction Act, the CHIPS Act, the Infrastructure Act. You're getting things like caps on insulin. I mean, I don't understand. You're getting them to codify women's rights. Just your right, your basic physical right to choose
to your own body.
You're getting all of that administration. I don't understand. I period. And
because I don't think the media thinks further down the road. You and I think further down the road. We've lived on the planet longer. And you know what else they need to do? Here's what you're going to get. So let's say you go down the line and you vote blue. All right. So let's say we take the House and the Senate and the presidency. Well, guess what we can get that? We can actually maybe get healthcare. I know it's a tough one because only 32 out of 33 countries have figured it out. We're the only country that can't figure it out. Every other country, industrialized nation, figured out healthcare. So you get that. So guess what happens then? If you get healthcare and you vote blue, you get to keep your house instead of giving it to the pharmaceutical companies when you die. So there's that. Maybe we get some gun legislation. So only people that are qualified to own a gun can have a gun, not some dipshit who hasn't taken a course, doesn't know how to fire one. That guy can't just walk into a fucking to a Walgreens or Walmart and buy a gun, or a bump stock. Maybe we can get some people on the Supreme Court that actually go back to the Constitution they say they're supposed to represent. That's what happens if you vote blue. Now, if you get Trump's crew, and I did it in the Armageddon update. Here it is. Here's Trump's crew. I don't want those guys.
All criminals.
Trump's crew, most of them don't want him to be president anymore.
No, I mean
the people that worked for him.
Though, yeah, 40 out of 44 will not back him. But then you got Steve Mnuchin. You've got Bannon. You've got Roger Stone. You've got this literal like fucking murderer's row of douchebags and assholes that are going to be in his cabinet. They're going to be part of his thing. And you got to remember, the grift that Trump's pulling is not a grift on, let's say, getting concrete for cheap or not paying his suppliers. It's a grift on the Treasury. It's a grift on the federal government. It's a grift on the plane. He spent $400 million on golfing. It was like something on golfing.
Oh, and then he made
at his own resorts
hundreds of millions of dollars by golfing at his own resorts and charged the Secret Service higher than magazine rack for
times.
All those rooms. And I was listening today, and for his own aides to stay in rooms and drink alcohol. There's a massive tab for food and alcohol he charged them. I mean, he made money off of that. This episode brought to you by Miracle. I don't know, Miracle Made. We love this company, especially right now because it's hot. If you're hot or cold at night, I don't know how you'd be cold right now, but if you are, I recommend Miracle Made sheets. They are inspired by NASA and they use silver infused fabrics that are temperature regulating so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long.
So we've been sleeping on them now for what, 2 months? A couple months? I am quite happy, by the way.
Are you?
I do. Like getting in bed, it's a little bit, because my wife sleeps under a heat dome. She is a heat dome. You are a heat dome. I am the heat dome. Yeah, you are a heat dome. And I am so glad that we have some sheets to take that down a bit.
So self-cooling properties, also self-cleaning. You guys know this is the one that gets me every time. Sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth leaving them to stay cleaner and fresher 3 times longer. So your sheets aren't going to smell bad, especially if you sleep with a boy. Also super luxuriously comfortable sheets and designed for your skin, because otherwise you're sleeping on bacteria and that can clog your pores, cause breakouts. So you're actually sleeping cleaner with Miracle. Highly recommend this company, especially during these climate change times. Go to trymiracle.com/Titus. Then that's him, by the way, to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself as a gift or a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use the promo code Titus at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an additional 20% off of that initial deal. Also, they're so confident that you'll love the product. It's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like them, you're not 100% satisfied, they'll give you a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Titus. Use promo code Titus. That way you'll get your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, trymiracle.com/Titus to treat yourself.
I know I see this a lot, but I'm glad we use all the stuff that we whore.
Somebody wrote us an email and said, I love you guys, but I'm broke, because I feel the need to try everything that you promote, because I know I did a couple and I was like, oh, this is awesome. They're not lying. So, GOP-led House committee has subpoenaed 3 White House aides for depositions about Biden's health. Also, all they're doing is keeping this front and center. Also, top donors have nixed the Chicago event during the DNC, as George Clooney puts out that op-ed saying that we needed a new nominee.
What do you mean they've nixed it? They're not going now?
What the fuck?
So,
well, the fucking Dems need to, first of all, they need to write it down. Like Project 2025. Write down what the Biden administration has done. This is what he's done. Bullet point that shit into 1 page. And here's what you're going to get in the second term. All this fucking shit. The same thing that 2025 did.
I think what Ray just said, though, it feels like it's over. Like I've never, like the Republicans couldn't do this. Like the Republicans couldn't fuck this record up. The Democrats are fucking it up.
Yep.
The Democrats have actually ruined it. We're going to lose. I'm more positive. But when you look at what's going on, unless the people say fuck the media, we don't listen and we go, no, this is our guy and that's his team. That's the team we want. The team that did all this is the same team that I want in there. I don't care if Biden's a head in a jar, because Trump is a head in a jar.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched his rally yesterday. Holy crap! But no one's showing that.
The problem is the mainstream media has so much influence.
Yeah, they really do.
It makes a difference.
But they also don't have any rules to abide by anymore. There's no rules for the media to abide. And so when I watch Katie Tour or I watch anybody just getting up there and slamming, I'm like, or even CNN, like, what are you guys doing? Like you've got a guy that just got up and couldn't pronounce words. Yeah. Like he literally couldn't get words out. Biden's giving you facts. He just spoke in front of NATO, in front of every world leader, and nailed it. And yet you guys are going, yeah, but remember 2 Thursdays ago when he was kind of tired? And
it's fucking simple math. Like, what did everybody fail first grade fucking math?
But
we have 4 months.
They're not doing that. They stay together. We eat our own. You've said that for years. Nobody's going, holy crap. Did you hear what Trump said at the debate? That he just said beautiful clean water and beautiful clean air as his plan for climate change.
Biden needs to, behind the scenes, be like, hey, what the fuck? Shut up. Everybody get in line. This has to happen.
But that's what I'm saying. What are we missing? This is what I'm saying. Because if I was president and this should happen on my watch, I'd be like, you know what's going to happen now? Get that guy's. No, I want to go. Who's primarying him in his district? That's who I want to back. I go, let him know I'm doing that. And I would just start bucking, dropping bombs. And here's what's going to happen. You guys don't fuck this up. It's too important this year.
There's nobody else that can take his place. Because that means
let's say
it's a losing battle.
But this is what Ray thinks, the delusion of a liberal. The delusion of a liberal. Liberals think, no, but it's right. Because it's right, that's what we have to do. But if right worked, then Trump would never have got elected. If right worked, Hillary would have been president. If right worked, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in right now.
If Trump gets elected, he will choose 3 to 4 Supreme Court justices. Oh, yeah. Clarence Thomas is just waiting. A lot of them, they're waiting to retire under a Republican administration so that they can be replaced by some psycho young person that will be in there for the next 60 years.
And we've also seen what the Supreme Court's going to do. He put any crusty butt plug in there, and she, she surprised me a couple of times, but she's still on the side of the conservatives. They're taking down set law, like stuff like they said. We showed last week. Go watch last week's Armageddon update. We showed you set precedent. They said we're not going to change set precedent. We're not going to change set precedent. We're not going to. And the second they got in, that's what they did. So today, AOC filed articles of impeachment for the Supreme Court.
It's not going to go anywhere.
Doesn't matter that it did, though. They still have to deal with it. And that means
they don't even have to put it on the floor, though.
Of the House?
Because Marjorie Taylor Greene, remember, she went on day one of Biden's presidency and marched over with her little papers on her little club feet. This episode brought to you by Fitbod. Speaking of club feet.
What?
She does CrossFit.
Yeah, she doesn't do Fitbod.
No.
She does not do Fitbod.
Tell us about Fitbod. You went to Tony's Ninja Sunday.
Okay, so I am now...
Tell them what it is.
Fitbod is an app you can get on your phone. It's called Fitbod. You go, it's like for like $69 a year. If that's the right number. Is it the right number?
Let's not go with his numbers. Let's just say for an extremely low amount a year, plus a promo code.
For a cost less than what training session would cost, you get an entire year. And it just renewed for me this week. I noticed it. And so many times I'll have something that I've paid for, and we renew automatically. And you say, you can check the box. And then when it comes around, I cancel it. Fitbod, I was like, oh, thank God.
I did see that email.
I was like, oh, thank God.
Yearly subscriptions are $79.99 each per year, but we also have a promo code.
Okay, so I was off $10. I will say this.
That's important.
So we have a thing that we go with Tony Horton. Tony Horton does this thing called Ninja Sunday. Yeah. Ninja Sunday is the most brutal, over the top, go to your edge, far. Like you have to be fit to, like you will take your fitness to as far as it will go. You have to climb. So this week we had to climb two ropes hanging out, 20-foot ropes, climb them like this. Yeah. No legs. Yeah. Couldn't have done it before. We have to do the ninja course. The ninja course, I got all the way through the first lap. I've never done that. On the pegboard, I usually will use a band to help me. I did the pegboard 3 times back and forth, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And I realized, because I told Tony, because I don't get to go all the time. Because of work, I'm on the road. Fitbod. I work out 3 to 5 times a week, every week. Ask Ray. And it has changed my body. It has changed my strength. And I turned to Horton and I go, my endurance. I turned to Horton and I go, I had personal bests all day today. He goes, yeah, because you're in the gym, you're working out. And so Fitbod made it so my knees, remember, I'd stand up, my knees are killing me. My knees stopped hurting.
So Fitbod creates a personalized workout routine based on whatever your goals, your fitness level, and whatever equipment you have. You might not have any. That's okay too. He definitely does workouts without any equipment. It adapts to your growth, so you're always being challenged. Sometimes I'll hear him scream from our workout room. 50s! I can't curl 50s. That was what I heard last week. It tracks your muscle recovery so that you're not working out the same muscle 2 days in a row. And it's fine-tuned by experienced certified personal trainers with videos. If you don't know how to do workouts, you can go. You can never have worked out before. That's what I love about this.
Do you know what it did? I'd forgotten I had worked out something earlier that week, like the 2 days when I put the same muscle in again. It gave it to me, but it dropped it down to like, I was only working it a little bit. And I was like, why is it? Oh, because I went back 2 days later. Oh, I did that already. Right. So it knew. Huh. So it said, all right, we'll let you do it, but we're not going to kill you. It was good.
Add Fitbod to your workout essentials. Join Fitbod today to get your personalized workout plan. Get 25% off of your subscription, or you can try the app for free at fitbod.me/Titus. That's fitbod.me/Titus. You get 20% off of that $79.99, which is stupid.
People live longer and make life easier. Did you see that thing about they were talking about women? That women live longer for men because women work legs most.
I love working legs. That's my favorite.
Well, because and I was like, well, why would your legs being in shape make your life better?
Your body works your heart more.
No, it's because you can move. Because people die because they get locked in their house. Oh. They can't get up and down stairs. Stability, they're not balance. Walking. They're not socializing. Yep. They're not going out anywhere. and seeing people. And so it makes, when I heard it, I was like, that makes total sense.
If you break a hip, you're done.
You're locked in.
Yeah.
You're
That's
done.
what grandma was always very wary of,
Yeah.
breaking a hip.
But also, if you keep your muscle around your hips strong, you've got more padding. If you don't, there was some cross-section x-rays I saw of a leg, and it was like an 80-year-old guy that worked out all the time, and you could see where it was muscle. He had fat, and he had muscle, and then he had a guy who didn't work out, and it was just this little tiny bit of muscle around his bone. And you realized, oh, I totally see why that guy's going to die first.
Yes.
And so, because of Fitbod, I have actually, and because of that thing, I started taking on legs, and Fitbod kills me. I did legs yesterday. I woke up this morning, and I got to be like, I'm old. No, you just Fitbod.
You did legs.
No,
Like
you
that.
just worked out, you douche.
Menendez trial is wrapping up. His attorney did closing arguments today.
Can we hear a little bit of this? I forgot this was going on, and how come we didn't cover this? Because it was a Dem? How come we didn't cover this total corrupt Democrat?
We did.
No,
We did a whole
did.
episode.
Well,
But the
because
media is not
the
covering
media
this guy.
is promoting everything that helps Trump, and it doesn't help Trump's lie that it's malicious prosecution and politically motivated prosecution when our DOJ is also prosecuting a Democratic
That's a bit
senator.
of double think, don't you think? Because wouldn't you think?
Why are they? I think
wouldn't you think the Republicans want to be like, see, like the Democrats are corrupt as shit. Look at this guy. Wouldn't you want to point that out every day?
But they're all saying that because then that undermines Trump's entire stand that all of these cases against him are politically motivated.
Yeah.
Well, it's mainstream media is owned by Republicans.
Right.
I just looked it up. 16% of all media companies. Media companies 16% voted 16% to Democrats, 57% to Republicans.
There's their answer.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, what else you'll get if you make sure you go blue around the board? You're going to get an actual border bill instead of Biden having to do an executive order. You'll get a law that's on the books forever.
Yeah.
You guys do understand that we had a border bill done that was actually the most conservative border bill since Reagan. And that's what Republicans said when they said they weren't going to do it after Trump said, "Don't pass this, you're going to screw me up." After that happened, we had Republicans come and go, I don't understand. We're not going to get this if they take back the House and the Senate. We're not going to get this back.
And fucking psycho Trump killed it and then says, so he can claim, and then he says it at the debate about the complaining about the border. Like, motherfucker, 2 weeks prior, you killed the fucking bill.
Yeah.
Fuck the fuck. So
Well,
fucked up.
are we the only, here's where I feel crazy. So we read all this stuff. I read all this stuff. I get that I'm in the weeds on this because we have this podcast. Are we the only people that get this?
No.
I mean,
I'm starting to see a lot of other people talking about it.
I mean, are people understanding that this guy is a flat out criminal, treasonous hump, bankrupt, pussy grabbing, racist, rapist? And by the way, he got convicted in civil court of rapist.
How dumb he is.
Oh man, watch the put a little bit of the. We're gonna put here's a little bit of Trump's rally yesterday. That's your alternative to the old guy, another old guy. Except this guy's a dumb old guy. At least the other guy.
I don't know. I think people, we stopped prioritizing education so long ago, and you really see it because they are very taken with shiny objects. When I used to run comedy clubs, not so much the one in Boise, but the rest of them mostly were in the South, and it having good quality comedy did not matter. No, I could not sell those tickets, but I don't want to use a name. I almost said a name. For example, someone that had a couple really bad movies like 20 years before, that would bring people out. And he would do he didn't have stand up, so he would do karaoke
or something.
and stuff and crowd work, and it wasn't comedy.
It wasn't Carlin. It wasn't Carlin. It was not.
But they would come out, and so I started to learn to promote, especially in Louisiana and Mississippi and places, Memphis, to promote whatever little TV credit or something. John Reed, who is very funny. I want to say he was very funny and very nice guy, very good comic. But the way that I sold out 6 shows like that was putting out that he was that thing got a Hemi guy and sold out. They didn't know his comedy. But that's what people are drawn to, right?
Well, we can talk about education. That's another thing that'll change. Education was so raped by Reagan, starting in California. Reagan basically became governor of California, and then he ran this. It was like California was like this test lab for stupid shit Reagan wanted to do. California used to be able to go to college for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
You can still go community 2 years
now, but that had to go back.
Yeah, thanks,
Reagan took
Gavin.
it, but times 10.
Mm-hmm.
It went from like $300 to $3,000 a semester under Reagan. Reagan, then he closed all the mental facilities, and our homeless problem increased exponentially. He canceled drug programs. He canceled all the social net. So then we have all this problem. Big old California's in trouble. Well, this started with Reagan. Now Gavin's turning it around. Then when Reagan became president, he put it on the whole country. Mm-hmm. And so then we lost. Our homeless problem is exacerbated like tenfold because Reagan shut down all the mental care facilities. You work for the Salvation Army. You knew that it was 80% mentally ill people, 20%.
It was impossible.
Yeah.
You have 72 hours. That's it.
Right. So we've got this country that doesn't value education because it's been taught out of us. It's been taught out of us to man, elites, the goddamn elites, Harvard and Princeton, Jesus, the elites, man. And that side has convinced everybody that you don't need to be smart. They just convinced.
They don't want you smart.
You said
they
it
definitely
before,
don't want you smart.
Dumb and proud. When did we used to? People would be embarrassed of being stupid, right? Like
Right.
You would try and hide that. Like if you were in a group of people that were smarter, you would just get quiet because you didn't want people to know how dumb you are.
And you wanted to be them. And you wanted to be them. You're like, I want to know this stuff.
That is not the case anymore. They're the elites. They're the deep state. And Honey Boo Boo is, has top ratings. That's sort of the problem. This episode brought to you by Mando because it's almost summertime, although it feels like it's already summertime.
It's summertime.
The sun's out. It's hot AF everywhere. My brother was dying in Texas the other day. Mando is a whole body deodorant. It's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours. So you need it, and it's for your whole body. You can put it in your pits, package, feet, and everywhere in between. Stops it before it starts. Also, there's 4 different cologne level scents you can do. How's your Mando experience?
I know when he is not taking his Mando.
Really?
His Mando treatment.
Give me that stick.
It was like, get in, do your Mando stuff. Oh, yes. He does like VR games.
So
I'm
his
sure
son
your
is
parents
13
know.
years old.
And he'll be in there like playing some fucking Beat Saber game, sweating.
Ew.
And when I open the door, my God, it is like high school football locker room times 1,000.
I've smelled
and
that
Mando
before,
gets rid of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if he uses Mando, there is not that smell.
Yeah.
If he doesn't,
then he comes out of the shower after he did Mando, the whole hallway and his room smells like amazing.
Doesn't it, the way she formulated, the doctor that does the commercials, she actually formulated it, and I love people that do this for the products. She actually went to a different level.
Yeah.
So it handles bacteria.
Because she saw normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated.
Right.
This is aluminum-free, baking soda-free, cruelty-free, dye-free, vegan. Better clinically proven to work at controlling odor better than a shower with soap alone. 12 hours after a shower, when they checked a man's average grundle odor, I don't like that word. It was 5 out of 10. With Mando, the average was 0 out of 10. But yeah,
what's the
how
interview?
much does that pay?
What's the job interview on that? Okay, so you're going to come in. We'll call you a scientist. You're a scientist. Yeah. What am I doing? Well, that's okay. Tell you what, did you want to work here?
Sign here.
Do you know what
am I doing?
Mando's starter pack, which is what his 13-year-old son has, is perfect for new customers because it comes with the solid stick deodorant, the cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products that you choose, like the mini body wash and the deodorant wipes, and you get free shipping. Luckily, we have this discount code to help you have the same experience that the Highlander is having. New customers can get $5 off that starter pack with our exclusive code Titus. That would equate to over 40% off of your starter pack. Use code Titus at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com.
I like the new commercials too. She's wearing a doctor's coat, and she's like, "I developed."
You
this
didn't like when she put her feet in the camera.
I didn't like when she put her feet in the camera.
You would yell every time.
And now I'm happy. Now the new commercials.
They have Lumi for
nice.
women too. It's a really good product.
Yeah, it's a good product. I will say that using it is a good product,
and it smells good.
What else is going on, guys? We're going to be in Omaha this weekend. I'll be doing
one show Friday, 2 shows Saturday.
I'm on the joke mining tour. I haven't named this special yet, but I am breaking out new material. I'm breaking out probably 4 new bits this weekend on top of the ones I've already broken in. So you're going to be seeing a bunch of new material. And I'd like to apologize up front, but come on down. It's good stuff. I just got to, it's good. The new bit about DNA and the new bit about I'm white is how I found out how white I really was, are really killing. But I've got 3 new bits I'm breaking in Omaha this weekend. So come see the new material. You guys will be the first to see it.
Are you getting any feedback? Like some crowd, big fans would be like, maybe.
It's funny. It's so weird because I've done 10 specials now. And this is my 11th. It's interesting that people are there. I have this whole group of cool people that are like, no. We want to see it.
Yeah.
I've come to, last special you did, I saw you 4 times. I saw you when you weren't working on the computer off of paper. He goes, then I saw you when you was kind of shaping up, but you still couldn't remember it. Then I saw it when it kind of shaped up. Then I saw it right before you taped it. It's special and it was amazing.
Right.
So it's cool. They get to see the process.
The whole thing,
and there's some people that really like the process of it.
Yep.
Other people like, we don't want to see you practice, but no one's really like that. They love that. Every time you tell them you're doing new material, they're like, oh, okay.
No, they love it because they, first of all, they're very supportive. That's why you have to tell them because otherwise they'll be going, wait, what?
Is this supposed to be the polished act?
But then they're like, okay, we're going to do this with you and we're going to cheer you on. So you have to tell them, but also they feel like they're a part of the development. Like we go back and people say that all the time. Oh, I got to watch this grow. Remember when you used to do pop, pop and click, click? Remember that bit?
Yeah.
People used to bring that up all the time and you'd quit doing it.
Yeah.
It was a very funny bit though.
Yeah.
But it never made it.
Some
probably for the best.
Some bits go away. And it's weird.
You brought one up yesterday.
I found one. I was working on the new show and I found one from, it was at the end of, I always script it out. At the end of Carrying Monsters, there was this 5 pages of this one bit about how we're all going to die. And it breaks it down how we all die. And there was a good point at the end of it. I thought, this happens every time. The voice in my head was entirely written out of bits that it kept falling off. I write a new special and I have these bits and they didn't go this way. So I put them aside. Then one day I looked over and I had 19 pieces about every just horrible, rabid fuck up in my life.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a show.
Yeah.
That's a show. So yeah. Do you ever do those songs?
Oh, totally. You think it's an outtake or something?
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then you go back a year later and you're like, oh, fuck, I'm putting that out right now. That's great.
Yeah. I didn't suck as bad as I thought I sucked. What do we do here? What do we do? What happens if Joe, all this heat gets to Biden and he finally goes, all right, fine, I'll step down. But here's what worries me about this, because I'm going to give you guys an upside. Everybody needs to shut up about Biden right now. Here's why. Biden's 81 years old. It's more than likely that he will either, if he does make it through, he's going to be 85. That's okay. Well, fine. Grandma lived to 89. She was great.
Yeah, she was great.
She was great. She was, by the way, that's why
she was still driving everywhere.
I just had experience with someone who was Biden's age, who was not in Biden's shape, and she was great. She had her wits about her. She played cards. She was awesome. She was smart. She was capable. She was delivering food to people younger than she was on Meals on Wheels. So I don't have any problem with Biden's age. I really don't. I have problems with Biden. The debate was I think it was a bad debate. And again, I didn't think that until I saw the rally the next day. When I saw the rally,
Clooney's op-ed says that he has been friends with him for a long time, but when they did that thing, remember, Obama and Biden, and then Jimmy Kimmel was there, and Clooney.
Oprah,
remember
probably.
that whole fundraising thing they did out here? He said he was not the Biden of 2016. He said, hell, he wasn't even the Biden of 2020. He said he was actually in person what you saw at the debate.
It's too microscopic.
Fine. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Everybody.
How good of a friend are you? Let me put this out nationally.
Yeah.
Are you really? He's a good friend of yours? Do you know if I did my good friends, they wouldn't be my good friends?
Why don't you call me, bro? Talk to me.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to hide. Listen. I don't want to hide. If he's incapable to be president, I want to hide it. But I'm saying that I watched the debate, I watched the rallies, then I watched Trump, and I'm like, still that fucking guy, still Biden. This guy's way worse, and this guy's evil. This guy wants to come in and destroy it. This guy's a pure American who loves it. And I think that look, Biden. I think Biden. We've seen over the years he's had enough caring for this country. He's had a lot of loss in his life, and I think there'll be a point that Jill will take him aside and go, "I don't think you should continue on." Now, but here's what happens if that happens. I found out that they can transfer the money. They can transfer all the campaign because Kamala's part of the campaign, so she bumps up into president to run for president. Let's just analyze what's possible. She bumps up into president. Then who do we get for VP? Well, now you got to deal with that now. So you now got another decision to make. We know what this guy's record is. We don't know what her record is, and we sure as hell aren't going to know what the VP record is going to be. Okay? So it's all a risk. Leaving Biden in is a risk. It's all a risk. But how come we're not talking every 2 seconds about this moron who tried to end democracy?
It's not news. It shouldn't be news about anything about fucking Biden or Kamala Harris. Who gives a flying fuck? Because it's about Trump and the Republican Party wants to take the fucking earth down. They're gonna they want to undo climate change.
They literally want to take the earth down. That's just a good point.
Put out his record for 4 years. Put out Biden.
Yeah, every day.
And then here's what you get. Here's what you get.
Not even Biden. You just be like, look. The Democrats, they're a group of people.
Yeah.
Vote this side because this is the people that want to keep, NATO and climate control and women's rights and healthcare and all the things.
Social security. They want you to have your social security.
And at the same time, you're going to be making money hand over fist in your stock account and your retirement
People
account.
keep saying that, no, the economy's been no, it wasn't. Go through history, guys. If you doubt me.
Even before COVID.
If you doubt me anything, I said, if you don't think I would come here, the one thing I hated in life was being wrong. So I research everything I do. And when I am, or dumb. And when I come in, I know what I'm talking about. The economy under Democrats has done better every time, all the way back to Eisenhower. Bush tanked the economy in 2008. Trump tanked the economy.
Yeah.
HW.
Bailouts.
Yeah.
Trump and Bush.
We cost farmers $400 billion because of his fucking tariffs.
The airlines who are now gouging us like 5 times what we used to pay for a ticket.
But it's what you said about education. It's like when the internet came around, I thought, okay, everybody's going to have access to everything now, and I do use it. And now people aren't using it for that; they're using it for porn and TikTok. And you guys can get all the knowledge, and then
in Project 2025, they want to ban and criminalize porn and the people that make it, put them in prison. And so you might be like, I don't watch porn. They get to decide what porn is.
And they're talking about, and some of the stuff that's on the list are just books. They're just books written by gay authors.
Anything to do with anybody that's LGBTQ. Yeah, anything in any adjacent manner.
I say it in my new show. By the way, guys, if you are worried about people who they have sex with, people you don't know, if you're worried about people that aren't bothering you, that are living the life they want to live, and you can't stop thinking about them, you're suspect.
Yeah.
You're the one with the issue.
And they've been, why all of a sudden? The LGBTQ community has been around since, the Neanderthals.
Well, someone explained it to me once. Someone said, because I asked this question years ago when the whole gay marriage thing was coming up. And somebody said, because what ends up happening is when gay people get married, they get the same tax breaks that straight couples get. And that costs the government money. But I'm like, I thought you guys wanted low taxes for everybody.
Yeah, tax breaks.
Well, not if you put a penis in your butt.
What is it?
Like I didn't know there was some you had some weird bar you have to
there's
clear.
A financial
like it depends on where your holes are. Right. Yeah, what are you doing with your holes? We'll give you a tax break if you use your holes the right way, but I don't get it. I just don't get it. So they're saying, and now this whole trans thing, they're like, look, of the 45 trans athletes in the whole country, why? Carlin said it best. They're going to use everything they can to separate you. The people with the money are going to talk to people without the money and get those people to keep fighting so they don't look at how much fucking money these people are taking. Yeah. They're going to point out that that the white people don't like brown people are going to take your money. They're gonna black people are going to crime. Gay people are ruining morality. And so what they do is they create this don't look at us. They're like, no, keep going. What? No, yeah, those brown people, they're taking all your money.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, the black people, they're ripping you off, taking all your money. Yeah, that's what's happening. Well, not 2 billion, 3 billion, 4 billion. What? Yeah. Oh, no. Got to build a wall because the brown people, 5 billion, 6 billion, 7 billion. And we are like, yeah, those fucking guys. No, it's those guys.
And it's funny, that shit is never taught in school, right? How to identify the fucking, the lies that you're being told constantly.
Any of it.
Critical thinking.
I feel bad for my son. I've had to teach my son, and Ray and I started investing and stuff, but no one ever taught me anything about it, anything. So my son's now has and the stock's going up that he bought. Your brother got involved. And your brother's a grown-ass man. Me too. No one taught me about this. No one said how. Hey, by the way, if you buy property, what happens is you can the most information I got was save. Monopoly. Monopoly. You played Monopoly, right? Well, you learned it. No, fucking, I didn't learn it. No one taught me how to do it.
Yeah.
I want to buy a plastic house.
Even the rise of fascism, right? Like in in grade school in history class, it's just like dates. And then this happened, and then this happened. But they never really cover the how and why the rise of fascism happened.
So can I do one last thing before we go? Because I'm getting close to the end. I want to do this one thing. We have a 5th generation problem. This is what I'm saying. And this isn't one of the new bits I'm doing. I'm not going to do the bit now because I don't really know it yet. We had World War II happen, 1940. Let's say Hitler was rise 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, a Japanese attack. But World War was going on in the 30s. So you have this whole group of people in the 40s, grandpa, right? Great grandpa. He was like that. Those fathers came home from that war like, no one's ever going to war again. It's the worst thing ever. Yeah, I'm like, what? And they came in messed up, and and a lot of them died, and they came back with a story to tell about the horrors of war. Generation 1. Generation 2 was the next generation. That's the 50s. They were like, yeah, Dad, it's going to be great, man. Going to school. Elvis is kicking ass. Let's do it. Yeah, you are going to school. Let me tell you, you're going to go to school because you ain't going to war. So that's those kids had it firsthand. They got it from their dads. War is fucking horrible. You don't want to go to war. You're going to get an education. Yep. Those guys became educated. They became the middle class in the 50s. The middle class in the 50s had money. They built the communities. They built the country. Eisenhower came back from the war, and Eisenhower's like, nope, we're not going to fucking war. We're going to have interstate highways. We're going to build it. That's generation 2. That generation said, you guys have hung out with Grandpa, right? Yeah, he twitches a lot, Dad. And he goes, well, Grandpa went to war. You're not going to war. You're going to college. And because I went to college, I have enough money to put you in a better college. So then you had these kids in the 60s that went to college. And they became the protesters of 68, 69, and 70 over the Vietnam. They protested the Vietnam War. Not only did Grandpa teach us not to go to war, we're going to fucking fight against war. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. Well, then what happened was, so that's 3 generations. And they still, it was still secondhand. It was still from Dad and Grandpa, but Grandpa was still alive. Then you had the next generation. Grandpa died.
Yeah.
Dad was either running a company or dying. They inherited some money. So then you got these kids, and you got these rich people who used to be hippies or protesters, and they are now, I'm going to teach my kids that everything's going to be okay. We got you. You don't have to worry about anything. I was taught about war my whole life. You don't have to worry. So the 4th generation didn't get it. 4th generation didn't get the fucking constant barrage of fascism's bad. Fuck Hitler.
War movies.
They did. Right. They didn't. They got to see the E.T. and they got to see all that shit and disco. Hey, man, yeah. I heard my grandpa was in war. It's pretty cool. And then you got those kids grew up now. And those kids raised participation babies. Yeah. And now those participation babies who have no concept of history. Yeah. Because we kept killing education. That's who we have now. And that's why there's not this panic that should be happening with what's going on with Trump.
You could tie that whole timeline to the importance of NATO. Because World War II was like, holy fuck, we need NATO.
We all got to get together. Because these guys are assholes.
And then now it's like, do we need this anymore?
Everything's fine. Germany, you know what? Germany's cool now, right?
Let's just disband this.
Yeah,
according to Trump, not
all right. So
Biden.
So anyways, when I write that bit, it'll be way funnier. But but I was tracking it and then going. So we have a 5th generation right now that doesn't quite understand what happened, and they're not being taught history in any relevant way where they go, oh shit, we can't do this again.
It's critical thinking too. I said this last week is that we don't have that anymore, and part of that is education and reading and being.
I've been saying this for a while. National education is national security.
Yeah, that's not what I was saying, but you're right. But it's that, like me listening today to the news to what's her face?
Katie Tur.
And she has John Kirby on, and John Kirby, of course, because he works for a Democrat, says, I don't want to violate the Hatch Act. Let me think about my answer. Remember,
Sarah Huckabee.
No, the one that turned into a dead person right before our eyes, Kellyanne Conway.
Kellyanne Conway's wife. Yeah.
Who violated the Hatch Act left and right.
Yeah, didn't care.
But they were talking, it's being reported that the NATO leaders are concerned about Biden's mental acuity. And what actually ended up coming out was that...
Right, as it goes on, he starts to explain that.
But I'm listening, and it takes me listening through what he says back as he's being careful to answer, and you realize that what the headline actually is NATO world leaders worry that these questions about Biden's mental acuity
the election up.
will allow Trump to win the election and get back in office.
Right.
So my critical thinking made me hear and go, oh shit, what they're all talking about is not Biden. They're talking about, holy shit, we can't let that guy run the country again, because if we do, we're fucked, right? Yeah. That's not what they're reporting, but that's what critical thinking does.
Because he's actually talking about the media. What the rest of the world leaders are worried about is our fucking media jumping on a story. They're worried about you, Katie Tur. They're worried about fucking you.
Yeah.
Shut up.
They're saying...
don't shut up. You can talk about Biden, but talk about Trump.
So
put him next on the screen.
World leaders and all of his former cabinet all agree he should never be anywhere near the Oval Office again. But that's not the headline.
That's
the
not what
headline
Kirby
is NATO world leaders worry about Biden's mental acuity.
She asked Kirby straight up. He goes, he's exactly the guy. He's exactly the guy I've been dealing with for the last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
He was
very clear.
He's clear. He's sharp. He knows. He's asking questions. With one of his press secretaries yesterday, not Jean-Pierre, but she's got to go.
Yeah,
she has to go. She is lightweight, and I watched them pummel her.
Let me at it.
I watched them pummel her for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy, I forget the other guy's name, and he got up and he goes, I will be very clear with you. When I go in the Oval Office, he asked me 5 questions, and if I don't have the answer, I better go get him.
Yeah.
This guy's on his game.
Yeah.
Now, is he old? Yes. Granted, he's old. But I will tell you this.
Were you thinking of Jake Sullivan?
I think it was Jake Sullivan.
Because he's not the press secretary.
The fact that NATO is saying,
maybe
don't sow doubt. Now's not the time to be sowing doubt
that's
in your media.
Yeah, your media's effing this up.
That's where they need to cut through with these fucking details instead of like kind of lying with the headline. It's a fucking, they're gaslighting
but
us.
Dumb people are listening going, oh my God, world leaders are worried about Biden's mental acuity. And I went, wait a minute, that's not what they just said.
And I'm back to what does that buy them except, what buys them is more news, because if they make the race close, if they make Trump, it buys them more eyes on the news, but man, that is so short-sighted. Yeah. Man, that is so short-sighted.
We already did that sketch with Bob and Annie. That one's up, I think.
Yeah.
They loved when Trump was in.
Guys, Omaha, Funny Bone this weekend. Is it still Funny Bone or is it Improv again? Did they switch it again?
Funny Bone.
It's Funny Bone. Omaha this week. 4 shows, Friday, Saturday, 2 a night. Guys, please come to the show. I'm working on new stuff. I'm on the joke mining tour. We'll figure out where this goes. And thanks. So go to ChristopherTitus.com. Scream Sanity shirts. By the way, again, I say it. This podcast was built on this phrase, Scream Sanity, as loud as they scream insanity. That's what we try to do every week. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. For myself, the Lovely Bombshell Ray and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There could be only one.